Hey guys, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. Today we're going to be talking about the grow tent. And the grow tent that I have is a little bit different than most people's grow tents because it is on its side. So the way that I cool and do what I do may be a little bit different than normal because it's on its side. Now the exercise mining room cave that we're in, and that's why I call it that, because it really is a little bit of a cave, or it certainly feels like it at times. The only reason it's not standing vertical is because it would block the only window in this room, and the wife did not appreciate that. Maybe if I had a couple more rigs in there, I may be able to convince her, but for now, here's where we're at. So let's talk about exhaust, and that's what I have over here, and these are the new ones. Now, if you saw my last video or my older videos, I did have a silver one with the insulation on the outside. This one has the insulation on the inside, and I was trying it out because the one before was silver and it really just stood out, and I was just trying to make it a little more pleasing to the eye for my wife, so it wasn't just this industrial looking thing. So I did this black one. It was a lot cleaner looking. The problem with this is that it runs warm. To the touch, it is warm. It's not hot, but it's definitely warm. So in the summer, this is going to radiate extra heat out, and that's going to become a problem. So I am going to have to swap that out again. This is some of it right here. The insulation is on the inside. It does have a couple layers, but it's really not much of anything. And it did say, I bought it, it does come as saying it's insulated, and it is partially insulated, but not really enough to make a difference on what I wanted. I would rather have the silver than this when it's going to radiate that much more heat. So they do sell a black wrapped insulated one where the insulation's on the outside like the silver one, except it's wrapped in black. So I'm going to go to that one, and that'll look a little bit cleaner, but that's just for the eyes as far as that the color that I'm looking for. But this one I would not recommend. It's just not enough. If you had it in your garage, maybe you wouldn't care so much, but in a room that I'm trying to keep cool in general, that definitely doesn't help. Also, the grow tent itself radiates heat, so to the touch you can feel a little bit of that warmth, just a little now. It's wintertime here, so it's much cooler in my house. It's running around 67 degrees or so in my house, because it's so cold outside. We're in the middle of winter here in North Carolina, so it's chilly. So these cards and everything inside are running really, really nice. Come summer, that we will revisit this. So I just installed a Google Nest in the house. The thermostat is in this room, as you can see. The thermostat would get the temperature from this room and then try to regulate the temperature of the upstairs of the house. The problem is that it would be warmer in here than it is in the other parts of the house. So it was constantly a battle trying to figure out, well, how much warmer and how much should I raise the temperature or lower it for air conditioning and so on and so forth. So now with the Google Nest, I've got a remote sensor down the hall, and it should help this summer with regulating the temperature in this room, or at least get a better idea of where I am, or what I need to do in here. But we'll find out when summertime comes for that. So as far as intake, I do have a vent on top. I have the one on the side, and I've got one right here. That's for a 6-inch, either, I guess, this would be by the bottom, so I guess that would be the intake anyway, most likely, or even perhaps exhaust, but that's what I have air going inside. Now let's go ahead and open this thing up. And before we do, we'll see the fans. I do leave my fans running at about 50%. So I do leave those on at 50%. I did have them on 100%, and the temperature did not change. And I did that during the summer, and 50% to 100% fan speed didn't matter. So they were just a little bit quieter, not much quieter on 50%, but nonetheless, I'm fighting noise and heat in this room because I am inside the house, and I'm trying to do this all inside the house, not in the garage or the basement. So let me go ahead and open this up. I wish I was in the garage or basement and it was air conditioned or climate controlled enough that I could do this, but here's where I'm at. So I'm doing what I got to do for where I'm at, and I hope you are too, and I'd love to see that in the comments below. So I got the 3060 rig over here, and that's got that new A4000 on there. Now that A4000 runs warm, and there's no denying that. That is a warm card. Runs hotter than anything else that I have. These are the 3060 Ti over here, and I've got 8 of those. I've got 6 of the 3060s, and I've got the one A4000. Now inside here for exhaust, I'm going to go ahead and grab the camera and bring it down here and show you what I got. So that's from the outside. It's a little breezy out there. So I've got 2 fans. The one on the left I used to have facing straight down, and the one on the right I have in the same configuration as it was before. So I did stand up that one fan and have it pulling straight across. And I also did swap out the rigs. So I used to have the 3060 over here and the 3060 Ti over there. And that 3060 runs 64 or 65 degrees all the time in the summer, in the winter. The fan speed, 60-65%, really just runs great. The 3060 Ti runs warmer by about 2 degrees, and 2 of the cards run about 2 degrees warmer than that rig's temperature, running temperature anyway. In the summertime, this rig will run around 67 degrees, and those 2 other cards will run around 69 degrees and occasionally touch 70, but not too often. 69 usually for those 2 cards, kind of the way it was. Now, I have swapped this. Now, it is winter again, so I don't know how those temperatures are going to work in the summer when it's not 67 degrees in here, and it's more like, 74 degrees in here. And during the day, we have our AC go up to 78 on the upstairs because my wife works from the office downstairs. My son's at school. I'm usually at work. And so we don't need to AC the upstairs all day. So we have it go to 78, which is also going to be another thing to see, because I did have it run warm last summer up here. But, we're gonna see. We're going to see where that ends up. Like I said, right now it's about 67, but typically we run 74 for AC and 78 during the day when we're not here. So I swapped these both across from each other. And the reason I did that, where I moved this one from here and over, was because I thought perhaps that one ran even cooler only because of this vent right here. The rig is right next to it, and I thought the air is being sucked right in and right across that rig, and it's really cooling those cards off. So that's going to be a test for this summer to see how that works. If that does run that any cooler. Again, right now it's so cool that all the cards are running, amazingly right now. So we'll see how that makes a difference, if it does or not, by maybe even in 1 degree. That would be great, So the other thing I did is that even when I had this in this configuration, I had these slid down further. As you can see, there's more shelf space over here. And what I did was I ran it of these down here when I first put them back in. I just kind of put them right here, and that was it. Didn't think much of it. It ran warmer in here. It was a little bit warmer in here by about, 2 degrees, maybe a degree warmer. And I was like, why is everything running a little bit warmer right now? So all I did was just slid these down to this end, and all of a sudden I dropped back down to my, optimal running temperature, and the cards were running cool again, and everything was fine. So once again, running a grow tent on its side, I have more challenges. I will say though, during the summer, I did have that 4-card rig in here, and the temperatures were all similar, where I was able to have that one in here. While I've done a lot of my testing, I put it back in here. I do have it in the bedroom right now, only because it's so cold at night. And again, my wife doesn't like to turn the heat on too often, so it puts a little more warmth on my side of the room where I have it. I know. But come summer, it will go back in here. And again, it didn't really make any effect. As a matter of fact, these cards ran the coolest, and the fan speed's the lowest. So anyway, we'll see. And that may also be because of this one right here and this one being pulled straight in onto those. Even when they're outside the rig, they run outside the grow tent, they run super cool. And inside there, they still ran super cool. So I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see come summer if that makes a difference. But for now, that's basically it. Now, my only other thing is that if I did add more rigs in here and I put another shelf here and I put one on top of this, for instance, I've thought about adding more fans into here, one more fan. Now, of course, I would love to have 8-inch fans, and I do have an 8-inch fan. As a matter of fact, I've got it right down here. Here it is right here. And that's the one I got for this. Now you got that terrible glare. If you can see it now, maybe a little better. I had this one here, and this 8-inch fan ran like amazing. There's no question about it. This fan is an amazing fan, and again, if I could have, that instead, I would love to have 2 of those in there instead of 2 6-inch fans. But the amount of sound that fan puts off compared to both of these running, okay, is not even comparable. This is so loud. I'm not even sure what to say about that. It's so loud. That fan blade just cuts through the air and makes such noise. With these 2 fans running, and when I button this all up and close it at the end of the video, I'm going to turn the fans on. I'm going to turn one on, and then we're going to wait for a second, and then I'll pop the other one on, and we'll put them both on high, so you'll be able to hear them kick in, and you tell me if you could even hear the second fan turn on, because I can't. 1 fan running or 2 6-inch fans running make almost no difference. The noise, I could even tell you if you did turn it on. It seemed like that to me, but we'll check that later. So what I thought was, okay, if I added another rig in here, what I would think to do is maybe put another fan on the second shelf, drop that shelf down a little bit, and add 1 more of these fans right there, and put a hole on the top of that. Well, that would be the top of the grow tent. Technically, it's the side, the way I have it working, but I'd put one right at the top. And with that one, because there is one at the top right now, I'd add a second one, and then I could put a 3rd fan in there. And I bet you I probably wouldn't even be able to hear that one running either, going from 2 fans to 3 fans, because I can't tell from 1 fan to even having 2 fans running the noise itself. So we'll test that as I close this up, and you'll hear it. But I thought that maybe I would even add a 3rd fan over there and let that run. So that's a thought. We'll see when that comes in the summertime. I'll see what temperatures are, and I may grab that 3rd fan for up here. But right now, 2 6-inch fans run perfect for me. They pull enough air that when I did try different configurations by putting in the 8-inch fan and a 6-inch fan, it made no difference. Having a fan sucking air in made no difference. Just having them open was just as good as having an actual fan pulling air into this, because I did put the 8-inch fan over here and closed up the flaps and just had the 8-inch fan pulling. I tried it with the flaps open in the 8-inch fan, and I only turned the 8-inch fan up like maybe 50%. So I was just trying to create more air going in than just normal suction would cause, and it didn't make any difference. Just the normal suction from outside this room by those fans pulling was enough air coming in that it made no difference with having air being actually blown in. So, and like I said, I tried it with both flaps open. I tried it with one open, and that one closed, and that one closed. And now I did it all, and in the end, it really didn't make a difference. So that's why I don't have any fans. What I am thinking of doing, though, is putting a 6-inch duct, taking some of this, when I take this all off and using for remnants, and putting some in this opening here, have it come into the tent this way, have the hose drop down to the bottom shelf, run across, and then turn, and have it being right here, so that any of the air being pulled in will be being pulled in and pulled over to that side. That way, and this is just a thought, is that this opening down here, this vertical one, is pulling air directly onto those. This one coming out of here will pull air directly onto this side. And then the one on top of the door that's on top of this when it's open is pulling any of the air that's radiating up, and it's pulling straight across and going right to the fans. This is what it is in my mind. I'm probably completely backwards, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But for me, this is the thought of how I've been doing it, and it's seemingly working. But maybe you can tell tell me some comments down below, making it all up in my head. But this is how I visualize it when I do it. So I probably will put a little bit of an ductwork in there. And like I said, just have it come out over here so it's blowing directly over towards these. And that's about it, y'all. If I did that third exhaust over here, it would just come out and go along here. And I would just put another hose right here. I don't know if you can see that from the glare. That's even worse. But I just put another hole in the wood down there, or I'd get another piece of wood and just strategically put 3 across. And then for me, with 3, I would feel that there is really nothing else I could possibly do with 3 in there. If I was able to put 3 fans in there, that's about as much exhaust as I would possibly need. Of course, I would love to have 2 8-inch fans in there, and I would be completely happy. But it's too loud. And if I was out in the garage and I had an area out there, maybe if I set an area by Crazy Town and I got it going over there, maybe I could do it. But that garage is not temperature controlled, so it gets very warm in there anyway in the summer. And then with the A6, obviously would be a nightmare. So this can't move out there, and I am stuck where I'm stuck with noise, and that's just how it is. So I'm going to go ahead and button this up, and then we're going to do that little fan test, and you'll just be able to see if you can hear any real changes in this. All right, so that's how I have it, and let's go ahead and pop this on. So we'll just turn this one, and we'll get that one to medium, and we'll get this one ready also. And so here it is here. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to turn this one on here. So I mean, I could hear it because I'm right next to it, but when I turn one on and walk away or stand back, or whether I have 2 on and stand back, it really, the sound is not even noticeable. And that's why I'm thinking about a 3rd fan in there, and then with 3 fans, I know I'm 100% in good shape. So that's a thought. We're going to see when summer comes, but for now in the wintertime, let that cold keep coming because I'm loving it. And y'all, we're going to hop over to the computer real quick, and I'm just going to show you some temperatures, and then we'll wrap this up for the day. All right, I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so we're on the computer. I'm going to jump over here, and let's go ahead and take a look. So the $1 Million Raven Coin mining rig, I installed a shelf yesterday, so I had to turn them off for just a little bit when I was doing that. As you can see, that's the shelf back there. Also, I installed the new thermostat that was in this room, so I got all that done real quick. Anyway, temperatures. So as you can see, 65, here's a 66, that's my warm one. Here's another 66, that's the other warm one that I get. They will typically run a degree or 2 warmer than the rest. In the summer, they're up about 2 degrees warmer than the rest, but that's just where I'm at. These are all brand new cards, and this is what it is. So otherwise, though, these fans will come down. They're running a little bit right now because I had that opened up in the grow tent, and a lot of that heat was just building up. So now that it's being pulled out, it's going to start pulling more cool air straight across the cards, and the fans will drop. The temperatures will stay the same. The fans will drop down to the low 80s. Mid 80s for fan speed. So it is what it is. If we go back and look at, so the 4 GPUs, they're in the other room. And funny enough, these are in that bedroom, and this outlet in here works with that bedroom on the same breaker. So that's why I got that gap in that one also. But this one runs super cool. It is, open air in there. It is cool in that room. Typically, this will run around 63 degrees or so, something around that number. Even in the summertime, 65 degrees at max. These things, I know that's what I have it set at, but they run a little below that also. And the fan speed, usually around 55% for the fan when it's in the grow tent. Right now, It's in a very cool room, so it's running, it's very happy in there. And then for the last one is the 3060, and that one's also in the grow tent. Now this one, as you can see, the fans run a little bit lower. Temperatures run, 65 is what I have it set at on my auto fan here. This one is hot. Obviously, this is the A4000, and that one runs 66, 67, 68 degrees sometimes. It fluctuates a little bit warmer sometimes. And the fan speed is always cranked at about 99. It just always runs pretty strong in there. But as you can see, this 3060 rig running fans in the mid-low 70s or in that area, and the temperatures that I'm getting, I'm really happy with that rig. Even with it now moved on to the other side, it's still remaining really cool. So I'm hoping that any of that extra cool air that I was talking about coming into the rigs through that one rectangle vent, I'm hoping that's going to really hit that 3060 Ti rig and cool it down a little better. So anyway, y'all, those are all the numbers. I appreciate you checking in. You know where the subscribe button is down below. If you haven't subscribed and you like these videos, I hope I see you around. Comments, I love the comments. I love the comments that y'all been leaving about the grow tent. I want to see more about it. I'm running, horizontal, so it's a little awkward. But I love the questions. I love everything that everyone's been suggesting to me. And I hope I answered some of the questions that some of you have asked in this video about temperatures of the room, the ductwork, the temperature of it, and everything in between. The temperature in this room right now as we speak is 72.8. I don't know if you can see that. So it's 72.8 in this room right now, almost 73, where the rest of the house right now is running at about 69 degrees. So it's about 4 degrees. There we go. We're 4 degrees warmer in here than we are in the rest of the house. That's because of the ambient heat from the duct and the grow tent itself. I may put a big moving blanket over top of this, over like this side of it, just to kind of keep some more of that heat kept inside and exhausted out. But I'm not sure yet. We're going to do more with this come summertime and really be put to the test in the summer. So, and of course the exhaust ductwork is definitely going to be changing come summer. Right now, like I said, it's a little warm, and in this room, I don't mind it being a little warm. So anyway, thanks again. I appreciate y'all. We're almost at 325 subscribers. So amazing. I appreciate every last one of them. Comments, thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for checking in.